Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for Tour Tuesday. We're just going to give folks a couple minutes to trickle on here. Thank you so much for your patience. Welcome, everyone. For those of you just joining, we're just giving folks like another 30 seconds to a minute to pop on here. Perfect. All right, I'm sure some folks will still trickle in, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. All right, great. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining United Way of Greater Nashville's virtual Tour Tuesday. My name is Lauren Ayers. I'm an account manager with United Way's workplace engagement team, and I'm so excited to be working with our lovely panelists on today's Tour Tuesday session. So just for any of y'all that haven't joined before, Tour Tuesday is an opportunity for folks like yourselves to get an inside look at the great work that's happening in our community through United Way's partner agencies. For any fellow nonprofit staff, this is a great way to learn about other service providers and programs that might be beneficial to the clients that you serve. And then for anyone who's looking to get involved, this is a great way to hear about current volunteer and engagement opportunities. And of course, for our United Way donors, this is a fantastic space to hear from agencies who are truly putting your dollars to work in our community every day. And while we do hope to soon be together in person for our Tour Tuesdays, we're really happy to continue with this virtual series and to have this platform that we share together. Each tour features agencies and programs from across the greater Nashville area as we come together to discuss current community conditions. So during today's tour, we will be discussing how the SNAP Employment and Training Program helps individuals achieve their vocational goals and increase their self-sufficiency through funded education, skills training, and supportive services. And we have the great privilege of being joined by representatives from SNAP Employment and Training and United Way's Economic and Financial Mobility team, as well as two of our wonderful partners. And then at the end of today's sessions, you all can continue to ask questions to our panelists through the Q&A box that is at the bottom of your screen. So please just hold on to any of those questions until the end. You can also use the chat function if you'd prefer. And at this time, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our wonderful panelists. So first we have Diana Webb, Senior Manager of Economic Mobility, SNAP E&T with United Way, and then two of our lovely partners, Leanne Gilbert with Lockhart Trucking and Amy Shalide-Meyer with MC3. So welcome and thank you all so much for joining us today. Just to kind of start, I think it'd be helpful if we could kind of get a general overview about the Employment and Training Program, what services are provided, the service region, and the impact on the community. So Diana, I'll go ahead and pass it to you to kind of talk about those items.
Thank you very much and welcome everybody. I'm glad to see you all here and be able to talk to you about SNAP. SNAP is one of my utmost passions, and I believe once you see the program and you listen to our partner agencies, a couple of our partners agencies, you'll see the impact it not only has on their organizations, but on the participants they support as well. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I do have a presentation for you all. Give me just a second here. Sorry, this is all up and I somehow clicked out of it, so I apologize. There we go. Share screen. So, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, you may ask, what is SNAP Employment and Training? You may hear SNAP, one of the generic, they like to call it generic terms, is food stamps. We like to call it food benefits because we no longer receive SNAP stamps. So what is SNAP Employment and Training? It is a program that's sponsored by the Food and Nutrition Services to eligible participants, meaning that they are currently receiving SNAP benefits, to support them in getting more skills than they would if they were just to enter into the workforce in a entry-level position. They want to enter them in higher in there. The funds can also be used to help support them either with tuition costs, transportation, books, tools, supplies, uniforms. The list is very lengthy in the supports that we can offer our participants through this funding. And again, the primary goal of SNAP ENT is to assist individuals in reaching their employment goals, really helping them form a career path versus just jobs. So the SNAP employment, and again, I just said that, the employment goals, sorry. So potential SNAP ENT participants must be receiving SNAP, must be on SNAP food or food benefits. They must be at least 16 years of age or older, and older meaning there is no age limit. Not receiving TANF cash assistance. This is an important one because many people do receive some form of TANF and receive food benefits. As long as they're not receiving the cash assistance, they are more than welcome to see if they have eligibility to SNAP ENT. The other one is ready and willing to work upon completion. We do not want to use this as another step for them to either keep their food benefits or just kind of surf the educational systems in our community resources. We really want to motivate them into short-term trainings that are going to get long-term results. So it's really for those who are motivated into taking that leap into a career. This is our program flow. So as you can see, it does start up here with if you can see my little pointer, with the Food and Nutrition Services up here with the USDA and the Food and Nutrition Services. And under Food and Nutrition Services, they have a program block for SNAP. So out of this, they fund the human resources, the Department of Human Resources. They are the administrative entity because they determine the eligibility for these programs. Then from there, Department of Human Services has a memorandum of understanding with the Department of with the Department of Labor, and they together help us as an intermediary or third-party partner or employers, one-stop operators, American Job Centers, implement these employment and training programs. And as you can see, when we get down to this level down here, it can be very diverse. We do have employers, we do have technical and trade schools. We do have community-based organizations that work on soft skills so that they can and help them get job placements. So we have a direct connection because of the Department of Labor and the Department of the Department of Labor. We have a connection with the WIOA programs. And what we do is we supplement those costs that WIOA programs cannot. We are not a true WIOA program. We are put into the titles as an extra, but really and truly we are not, because we don't fall under Department of Labor, the federal Department of Labor. Then we are considered, we're just considered a supplementary program that can assist in meeting participants' goals. And again, they can be many things here. Partner with the American Job Centers, short-term training programs that are not, when we say ETPL, that's on the what we call the preferred employment and training preferred provider list. And again, those are like the colleges. Those are things that contract with the state for tuition. Short-term training program, work readiness trainings, meaning that as you'll hear like from Amy coming up here, that they offer different work readiness trainings. They're getting those people ready to step into the next set of hard skills trainings that they'll need in order to start their career. We do direct connections with employers. Some of our employers are Slim and Huskies, which is the pizzeria around here. Snappy and T offers free or low cost childcare. And when I say low cost, it's on a sliding fee. So as that person moves into the career and starts to get the job, that fee for childcare increases just a little bit. It's not going to have that cliff effect like most benefits do through other programs. Snappy and T childcare services go the length of the child's age as long as the participant keeps up their paperwork to the child care, showing them their wages and stuff like that. And then transportation, which is huge. I think all of our organizations in some form or fashion assist with transportation costs for the student to get to and from their programs, or to and from employment, or to and from job interviews, those types of things. This comes in the form of bus passes, gas cards, Uber and Lyft certificates, whatever that may be in order to assist them. I promise I'm reading. Okay, so just to give you an overview, currently this year, which is what we call FY22, our fiscal year of FY22, for Snappy and T, this is a list of our partners that we currently partner with, and they're doing an amazing job out there in Nashville and surrounding counties, all of Middle Tennessee. For FY23, starting October 23, this is our list of partnerships that we are walking into starting October 1st, which is a huge network of opportunities in order to make an impact in our communities. I mean, the more people we can reach out and help lift them up, the more our communities are succeeding and really showing the progress. So the first example, and she's here today, is Miss Leanne in Lockhart Trucking. Again, they're a trade school. They offer CDLs, and anybody who's Snappy and T eligible or qualifies for Snappy and T receives that training for free. So Snappy and T pays for that training and any of the supports they need to get through that training. And Leanne, I'll let Leanne talk about it here in just a minute. I'm just kind of gonna go through this. Again, I mentioned Slim and Husky's Pizza. They also train. And then once they train them, they actually place them within their companies at one of their pizzerias or their production plant. The other one is Pivot Technology. Again, this is another school that is actually a for-profit school, and they are training people on different kinds of IT technology through their boot camps. Again, if you're ENT eligible, you get the schooling for free. I'm going to show you this short little video, and then we'll give it over to the other peeps. Get come on, where's my mouse? Sorry. Come on. Oh no. It's
It
not
really did work a while ago.
It did, really did. It really, really did. I can't get my mouse to go. Oh, this is horrible. I am so sorry. Does anybody, while I'm waiting, does anybody have, got it. Okay, sorry.
Perfect. I see it loading.
The SNAP program for our students has been phenomenal. We have so many stories of so many students that have come anywhere from homelessness to fires who have lost everything, even to people who are straight out of prison, who are on parole, that have been able to come through the SNAP program to fund their schools so they could get their CDL, and they come back to us and show us their new cars and introduce their fiancés and their families, and it just really changes their life. And they wouldn't have had the opportunity to come to school to get the CDL without having the SNAP program to help fund their education.
The SNAP program has helped me because when I first started and I was going to go through another program called the American Job Center, I was a little discouraged. I'm not going to lie. I was discouraged because all the steps were a lot. So SNAP has motivated me, showed me it's not as hard as I thought it was. And they help a lot as far as the SNAP program. They help with the gas as well if you do need it. They calculate by miles. You don't find stuff like that. So the SNAP program to me is like a new beginning for others, because people like me, I can't afford to come in and pay $5,500 for a program or something. That's like an estimate, but it's very helpful. It gives us a new sense of hope, possibilities, and that's hard these days to find help that easy.
A lot of us go through lives and we attain our own personal goals. It's another thing to have the ability to impact and help create goals with other individuals and to see them all the way through that progress. We have students that have graduated and got their license 2 or 3 years ago that now come back and say, well, you won't be amazed at this, man. I own my own car, I own my own home. I remember students that have come back that got custody of their children back. It's just not about climbing in a truck and driving and making money. It's the impact that opportunity has given to that individual. And you just see it just come full revolution every single time. It's just amazing.
The United Way SNAP ENT program has been really great for Pivot. It's allowing us an opportunity to reach a new audience and give more people of color access to technology skills training so that they can be prepared for the workforce of the future. We're really excited about this partnership because for us, it's all about impact. We want more people of color to move into the global technology industry, and with partnerships like this one with the United Way, we're helping more people get into these jobs of the future.
So being involved in the SNAP program has really created a whole different lane for us. It's really opened up our customer base, and we're able to really serve individuals that may have not been able to afford to come through our program. So our program costs around $10,500, but with this kind of resource from United Way and the SNAP program, it's giving people opportunities they have never would have had to get a skill set that can really change their life.
The SNAP program has assisted my goals by giving me an opportunity to go to school and to, better myself. And also because it was a full scholarship and I wasn't required to pay or, like a loan or anything like that. So I wouldn't be, continually put myself in debt. So by me receiving this, it was great. to help me better myself in my life.
For Uprise, Snap, we became Snap partners in the summer of 2020, and as you know, that summer, the complete world changed. But Snap was a huge advantage point because we actually had to move to social media to get all of our referrals because everybody was at home, right? And Snap played such a huge part because Snap was able to also provide support in terms of us growing that social media campaign, growing how do we touch people unconventionally, dealing with now new cost where we could just show up to a building beforehand, but now suddenly we have to mail things, we have to do all these things in a different way. You start thinking, who needed a Zoom account? So Uprise Nashville through the entire pandemic continued to bring in students, continued to have classes, whether we move them virtually or hybrid. And so Snap played a huge part in allowing us to be able to pivot and sort of focus in to still help the leaders and also be able to stay afloat during that crazy time.
I was basically in a rut. I was delivering for DoorDash and Instacart and Uber Eats, and it was getting to a point where the money wasn't really coming in, it was drying up. I was unable to basically pay for, cover my bills and take care of my son and I. So I got frustrated, and I was thinking how can I supplement my income? I want to be able to have money for my future. So if I didn't have Snap, I'm not sure where I would be.
And there you go. That's the SNAP ENT program.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Diana, for that overview. I'm so glad that both you and the video touched on transportation because I feel like that is so top of mind right now. And I think we can all agree on the importance of assisting individuals with gaining the skills and credentials that they need to compete and participate in our thriving job market. So that was super helpful overview. Thank you. You kind of teed this up perfectly, Diana, but I'd like to kind of transition to the importance of partnerships in this space and all of those different players in the network that Diana illustrated. So Leanne and Amy, could each of you kind of spend a few minutes talking about the importance of your organization's involvement and the impact that this has had on the community? And Leanne, we can start with you.
Okay, well, the impact that we have had it's just opened up so many more doors for us to help more people. We do have a lot of people that come in that are on parole or just got out of prison, and they do have tarnishes on their background. One of the things we like to say is once you come through our door, you're no longer a man, woman, religion, or background. You're a truck driver, and that's all that matters. So to be able to impact those people and to show them there is light at the end of the tunnel is key to us, because when the kids are at the window watching them go out to school or to drive up in that truck in the driveway, that's why we do this. And the impact it has on us was we were just able to speed up the process with all of the grants and things that are out there. People are at their wits' end, and in that video it touched on the pandemic and social media and stuff like that. And I've always thought it was key since we opened in 2016 to hit Facebook and get into those job groups and looking for work groups and things like that, just to say, look, if this is your situation, then don't think you're at the end of the road. It can work out. And you don't know who's online at 3 o'clock in the morning, looking at your post, and maybe right before they went to bed, you gave them some hope with one little Facebook post. You know, it doesn't seem like a lot, and social media has its up and, you know, its pros and cons and whatever, but you know, if I can give somebody a touch of hope for a future, then absolutely. And we absolutely love being a partner with SNAP. It's just opened so many doors for people.
Amy, we'll kind of toss things to you.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone. Amy Shalad-Mayer with Music City Construction Careers. We go by MC3. We actually follow the National Association of North America's Building Trades Unions for their apprenticeship readiness program, multi-craft core curriculum. And we have been delighted to partner with SNAP ENT. I'll tell you just briefly about our program and then how we've benefited from being a partner of SNAP ENT and working with United Way and the other third-party partners. We are a tuition-free 2-week apprenticeship readiness program for anyone interested in a construction career. We work with the 15 union building trades across Middle Tennessee to provide this introductory training, including OSHA 10, blueprint reading, first aid, CPR, introduction to tools, and a number of other nationally accredited curriculum from North America's Building Trades. At the end of the 2 weeks, our graduates are excellent candidates for the full-time paid apprenticeship programs in the trade of their choice. And so what our graduates typically do over the course of the 2 weeks through field trips and career fairs and interactions with representatives from the different trades, they kind of self-select their top 2 or 3 trades that they're interested in. And then those trades have their own application processes. And so I like to say that our graduates become the preferred candidates for these apprenticeship programs. And while our program does not cost anything, the benefit, I mean, we are paying, we've estimated about $3,000, $3,500 per participant for the services that we're offering. And so it's definitely not cost free to us to provide. And so it's been very helpful to partner with SNAP ENT. Our graduates often are placed in a full-time career within 1 or 2 weeks of graduation, which is really a testament to the needs in the construction industry here in Middle Tennessee, but also the hardworking caliber of our graduates. And those are paid positions that they're still earning while they earn. And so some of you might be familiar with union apprenticeships, but they're full-time paid positions with benefits and pension at the very beginning. And so a lot of our graduates start making about $18 or $19 an hour at the very onset. That's with pension and benefits on top of that. So really the hourly cost that they're earning is more than that. And then over the course of the 4-year or so apprenticeship, they gradually make more and more until they could be making $40, $50+ an hour. By the time they're a journeyman or journeywoman and they graduate, they're often could easily be making 6 figures and could move anywhere in the United States, and that transfers with them. So it's a really wonderful option for people with or without construction background. They can come into our MC3 program. Because we offer it for about 2 weeks intensive, we space them out. It's about 3 or 4 times a year, quarterly, so that we can really offer that more intentional mentorship and accompaniment as they transition out of the program into their full-time career path. We have really benefited from SNAP ENT. We've been a partner for about 1.5 years. It feels like longer because we initiated the conversations about 2 years ago. We've held 8 classes of MC3, about half of those while we've been a partner with SNAP ENT. I actually contacted one of our graduates who benefited from SNAP ENT, and I asked her how being a partner and participant in SNAP ENT benefited her. And she said that she was very glad to receive the benefits. It made the process less financially stressful for her. And SNAP ENT covered the cost of her tools, her tool bags, and her processing fees as she did that application and began her apprenticeship, which comes with additional fees for books and other costs. We really do work with people of all backgrounds, some who are employed, some who are unemployed, underemployed, some with a justice, who are justice involved, some who are not. And we really open up our eligibility to anyone over 18, men, women, veterans, all, racial, ethnic backgrounds. We're trying to help create a more diverse path into the trades. Our program has benefited from SNAP ENT. We've been able to grow our staff a little bit, and to also think about offering our program more often. We were doing it about twice a year. We've upped it to 3 times a year. We're looking at possibly doing it 4 or more times a year. I'm grateful that we're on here with Leanne and Lockhart Trucking, because one of our graduates wanted to enter the electricians and be a lineman, but they needed their CDL actually for the position that they were applying for. And we were able to make a referral, and they got that completely covered. They were able to get their CDL license to be out on the job with the electrical workers, the IBEW here in Middle Tennessee. And so that's one example of how these third-party partners for SNAP ENT really do work across the aisle, all across networking together. We get a lot of referrals from other third-party partners who are also SNAP ENT partners. And I did want to mention, we intentionally invited the United Way Financial Empowerment Center to be a part of our program after the second class. They are now a part of our second week, and we have mandatory financial counseling appointments for all of our participants. And going forward, a lot of our participants have continued on, have opted into that ongoing financial counseling, scheduling 5, 6, 7 or more sessions even after MC3 is over. So we've been really excited to see that partnership really flourish with the Financial Empowerment Center as well. So I will leave it at that. I'm happy to answer more questions about MC3 as well, if anyone has those.
That's amazing. I love all of the crossover and just kind of the power of the network and the relationships, and that you both talked about. Just the hope and the transformative nature of this program is so great. Kind of looking forward, as Middle Tennessee and our greater Nashville community begins to open up more and adjust after the pandemic, what are some of your plans going forward, and what do you all hope to achieve by the end of the year? Diana, would you mind kind of kicking off this conversation?
Well, as we move forward, as you know, we operate in a fiscal year, which means we start October 1st and we end on September 30th. So it's not a traditional year from January to December. So as we're wrapping up our year now, as you saw, we're getting ready to go into our FY21 year, and we're really, or FY21, hello, FY23 year, with a bunch of new partners, a bunch of new networking, the core partnerships that we started out with, like Lockhart Trucking and MC3, and I can name a whole bunch, the contributor. They're now the mentors of these new organizations coming into the program and helping them with that networking. So as we build and we expand, and they know me, I don't call them partnerships, I call them a team, because without one, we can't have the other. And they are very critical parts of building our communities and the success in our communities. So looking forward, we're looking for a lot more success and a lot more outreach.
I love that. We really are all of a team working together in this community. So that's really powerful. Amy, do you kind of want to speak about any of the goals that MC3 has for this year, or things that y'all are working on looking forward?
Sure. Yeah, we had our largest class of graduates on Friday, just 4 or 5 days ago. We graduated 13. The mayor was present and gave a keynote address, and is proposing to allocate $50,000 of funds toward MC3, which will really help us expand our program, have larger classes. We've kind of tried to keep it under 15 just because of COVID space and capacity, But if we have greater funding streams, we'll be able to grow our instructor base as well as staff and possibly offer more classes. So that's exciting. We're also looking into some partnerships with MNPS and school systems. We held this June class intentionally to get seniors right out of high school who might be looking for alternatives to college, different paths to a career. We actually had 3 of our 13 graduates who were just out of high school. And we're really excited because they are getting set on a very family supportive career path at a young age. In fact, our older students who were in their 30s and 40s, which I kind of shudder to call that old, but they were jealous of the 18-year-olds in the class who were getting started with that retirement pension insurance, right at 18. So we're hoping to have more creative partnerships that way as well. And we're trying to diversify our funding stream too, so we can, again, grow our staff. We are getting more and more into SNAP ENT, so I'd love to have it be that, half of our class or more are SNAP ENT involved, but many of our participants, come to us and they're not even receiving SNAP because they don't know about it. And so we do a lot of education on day 1 and 2 around SNAP, try to get them enrolled in that so they can have that food support. And then once they're receiving SNAP, hopefully by the end of the 2 weeks, we can then refer them to SNAP ENT. So a big goal I have is to really expedite that process, get them enrolled in SNAP, work with other partners who can refer people who are already receiving SNAP, because they're just such an excellent fit for SNAP ENT. So I guess greater partnerships, growing our capacity, growing our funding streams, and creatively thinking about how to offer this program to different age groups and populations.
That's great. And Leanne, what about Lockhart Trucking? What's on the horizon for you all?
Well, we have, same as Amy, we've grown our staff, and that's really the first key thing is to grow your business so that you can help more people. So we, of course, trucks are expensive, and let's just go there for a minute, and diesel's very expensive. Us being able to help people with, gas cards and things like that are really important. But for us, growing our staff, getting a truck, we're looking into, simulators so that if it is bad weather outside, they can be inside and take care of that. So we're looking at several different things, but what we really want to do is continue with our support services. We've been a partner since last August, so it's almost our birthday. But what I would like to see us do is expand on more support services for people, because the worse the economy gets, the more people need, the more need that's out there. And for us, that's really important because we're just a big family, and we want to be able to support them as much as possible. So offering more, benefits to people, maybe, partnering up with a hotel or something so that people have a place to stay while they're in our training, that would be nice. And then that way, maybe we can compete with some of the other schools that do that, but charge a lot more and are not a partner. So hopefully we can, move forward with that, but definitely doing what we're doing, you don't fix what's not broke. And so we just want to fluff, so to say, our relationships with partners and definitely with SNAP ENT.
Awesome. Thank you. So many exciting things that your organizations are working on, and it sounds like a lot of the priorities align, which is great, just as this team continues to grow and work together. At this point, I know a lot of information has been shared, and some of our attendees might have questions, either for the group or for a specific panelist. So attendees, please feel free to submit questions, either using the Q&A function or in the chat function at the bottom of your screen. And we'll just use the next few minutes that we have together to get through as many questions as we can. I did see one come through, Diana. I think you saw it as well. How do agencies sign on, and what commitments are asked of them? Could you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. if you're interested in becoming one of our team members, which we were always happy to have more, is just contact me, and then we'll talk about what programs you offer and how the ENT can fit into, or how you can fit ENT into your programs. Basically, just look at the population that you're serving. That's the best qualification that we can give, is that if you're touching people who are on SNAP or have the potential to be on SNAP, that there is the critical link. Other than that, it really is kind of an easy process. We go over a budget and scope of work and all of that. So I left my email in the chat if you want to get in touch with me.
Perfect. Thank you. Yep, your email address is there if anyone wants to reach out to Diana. Any other questions that our panelists can answer? I'm going to give folks a moment just in case they're typing.
I've been listening to the cicadas behind me as it's been quiet. So
it's good white noise, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if any attendees do think of questions after this, we can certainly pass this on, and their contact information is in the chat. If any of you want to reach out to Leanne, Amy, or Diana separately from this conversation, feel free to do so. And also each attendee will receive a follow-up email with my contact as well as the contacts of everyone here, just in case you didn't catch their email in the chat box. And thank you again to Leanne, Amy, and Diana for taking time to be with us today. I know I speak for all of us in this virtual space. We're so grateful for the work that you've done and continue to do at a time when the community really needs you more than ever. So thank you. United Way is so grateful to be a partner and supporter of this work and a teammate. And I also want to send a thank you to all of our attendees for joining today. Thank you for the time that you've devoted to our community and for your year-round support of United Way. This work truly couldn't happen without you. So we hope that you'll join us again for Tour Tuesday. Information for that can always be posted soon on our Get Involved website page. So be sure to check that out. That's where all of our happenings are posted. And thank you all so much, and hope everyone has a great week.
Thank
Bye,
you, everyone.
thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.